Good day. I'm back again. Today I'm going to talk about hypothesis test for a population proportion. So I will share my screen with you. So this is a problem on hypothesis test for a proportion. The problem states that a national survey found that 68.6% of the population own their homes. In a random sample of 150 homeowners, it was found that 65% own their homes. At a significance level of 0.05, does that suggest a difference from the national population or national proportion? Okay, so the national proportion is 68.6% of the population own their homes. So my null hypothesis, my status quo is population proportion P equal to 0.686, which is P0, my hypothesized population proportion. The test hypothesis or the alternative hypothesis is what the question states. Is it different from the national proportion? So the alternate hypothesis is P not equal to 0.686. We are given the level of significance alpha is 0.05. Remember, level of significance is the maximum probability of making a type 1 error. What is a type 1 error? Is reject 80 when in 80 is true. That is, we should not have rejected it, but by mistake, we made an error and we rejected 80. In the sample survey, N sample size is 150. So my sample proportion is given as 0.65. Now the sample proportion is X over N. What is X? X is the number of successes and N is a sample size. So I can write my equation as 0.65 is equal to X over 150. X is the number of successes. If I multiply by 150 on both sides of this equation, then we get 150 times 0.65 equal to X over 150 multiplied by 150. The 150 on the numerator and the denominator on the right-hand side of the equation cancel. So I'm left with X is equal to 0.65 times 150, which works out to 97.5. And I always have to round it to the next higher number, 98, because the calculator will only take whole numbers. So we will round 97.5 to 98. So my number of successes is 98. So what is my number of failures? Well, I know the sample size is 150. So 150 minus 98, 52 is my number of failures. So you note that both the number of successes and number of failures are greater than 10. Hence, we can use the standard normal distribution to test this hypothesis, to conduct this hypothesis test. So what do? I go to my calculator TI-84. I put it on. Then I press the stat button on the second row, stat button. Okay. And then I highlight test on the top row. Highlight moves the black cursor on top of test on the top line. Okay. Then I scroll down with the down arrow key to one prop Z test. Prop stands for proportion. We know this is a proportion test. That's why I select one prop Z test. When I go to number 5, which is one prop Z test, I hit enter. Okay, so my P0, that is my hypothesized population proportion, is 0.686. Okay, I type that in. That's my null hypothesis. P0 is 0.686. My X number of success is 98. I type 98. My N sample size is 150. Remember, the fourth line is my alternative hypothesis. Remember, my alternative hypothesis is P not equal to 0.686, which is my P0. So I bring the cursor on the fourth line to not equal to P0 and I hit enter so that it is flashing on the fourth line or not equal to P0. Okay. And then I scroll down to calculate. Okay. And hit enter. So I do that. And on my screen, the first line is proportion not equal to 0.686. That is my alternative hypothesis, my test hypothesis. And my test statistic Z is minus 0.862. My p-value, which is the third line, is 0.389. This p-value is greater than alpha. Okay. So when p-value is greater than alpha, level of significance, remember level of significance was 0.05 in this problem. So my decision is fail to reject 80 because p-value greater than alpha. That means my fail to reject 80 means I'm going to stay with the null hypothesis. Therefore, I state the conclusion is at alpha equal to 0.05, there is not enough evidence to support the alternate. Why? Because I failed to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, at alpha, level of significance of 0.05, there is not enough evidence to support HA. I will stop here today. Please come back and revisit. I will post some more problems. If you like what you are seeing over here, you're learning how to solve the problems with TI-84. Please subscribe to my channel and I will be back with more problems, more solved problems. Okay? Take care of yourself.